Hi, welcome to the Candy Connection. I'm Arletha Candy Myers. We're here with Kyle McCrae, kicking around what matters in insurance. Good morning, Kyle. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good morning to you, Candy.
What do we have today?
Today, we're going to talk a little bit about flood insurance. In my last Kyle's Corner, I got into flood insurance a bit, just kind of the surface of flood insurance. Now I'm going to go a little bit more in depth about some of the myths that people believe about flood insurance and try to clear the air a little bit. I've got the top 6 myths about flood insurance here. Myth number 1, my homeowner's policy will cover damage caused by a flood. The truth, flood is not covered under any standard homeowner's insurance policy. Okay? Purchasing a separate flood policy will give you peace of mind in that circumstance. Myth number 2, flood insurance is too expensive and my homeowner's insurance is already too expensive. Flood insurance costs only a small fraction on average compared to a homeowner's insurance premium. Preferred risk policies for flood insurance start as low as $129 a year. That's less than 35 cents per day. The average flood damage costs a consumer $55,000. Okay, your average flood insurance claim is that much, so it's definitely worth it to take advantage of a flood insurance policy. Myth number 3, I don't need flood insurance. My neighborhood never floods. Well, in 2009, 25% of all claims paid by the National Flood Insurance Program were in low to moderate risk properties. Okay, so 25% of claims. So just because you're in a low to moderate risk property does not mean that you cannot or should not take advantage of a flood insurance policy. Myth number 4, if my home is affected by a federally declared flood disaster, the government will take care of the loss. Truthfully, the government will not pay for losses not covered by a flood policy. Federal disaster assistance is usually a loan that must be paid back with interest to the federal government. Myth number 5, I can purchase flood insurance when I really need it. Okay, there's a 30-day waiting period for flood insurance to take effect. So if you do not want to wait until the flood event, is right a week away or 2 weeks away, because you have to wait that 30-day grace period. It's similar to a deductible and insurance. However, if you're purchasing a new home and you need to obtain flood insurance for settlement, we can waive that 30-day flood period so you can go to settlement in time. And myth number 6, my mortgage company says my home is not located in a flood zone. Truth is, everyone lives in a flood zone. Mortgage companies require that you buy flood insurance if you live in a special high-risk hazard zone. Homes in high-risk areas are twice more likely to experience a flood loss than a fire loss, and simple hard rain can cause a flood on your property. Okay, so that's a little bit about flood insurance there. And if you have any questions about the risk of your property and where it's located, what type of, flood zone you live in, go to www.floodsmart.gov. That's www.floodsmart.gov and type in your address, and they can tell you a little bit more about your risk of your property.
Thanks.
You're very welcome.
Again, myth or fact? You just got the answers right here as Kyle kicked around all the myths about flood insurance. Great tips, great conversation. Again, feel free to contact Kyle. His information is located right here. And we'll see you next week.